Hello and welcome to Charger Bulletin News. I'm Mitsuki Garvey-Sanchez. Our top story this week is about university students charged with credit card fraud following an investigation by the University of New Haven Police Department. The investigation revealed that students received stolen credit card information and used it to deposit money into their Charger card accounts. According to Chief of Police Tracy Mooney, criminal charges were filed against each student and arrest warrants have been issued. The students were charged with corresponding Class D felonies. A Class D felony in the state of Connecticut is punishable by up to 5 years in prison and up to a $5,000 fine. The students were also dismissed from the university with marks on their academic record. The University of New Haven is airing a new show titled Pitch Perfect, a competition where young entrepreneurs pitch business ideas to a panel of judges. The series is hosted by Mike McGuire, a CEO with experience in finance, marketing, and entrepreneurial management. The competition includes participants from universities around Connecticut, including University of New Haven, Eastern Connecticut State University, and University of Bridgeport. Here's a short clip of the show, which can be found on YouTube.
Hello and welcome to the Entrepreneurship and Innovation Center here at the University of New Haven. I'm Mike McGuire and this is Pitch Perfect. Welcome to Pitch Perfect. This is a place for you to pitch your new business idea, get feedback, and feel what it's like to be on the spot. At Pitch Perfect, we invite students from all over Connecticut to stand on the spot and pitch their business ideas to a panel of expert judges. After each pitch, our judges will decide if you and your pitch have what it takes to make it through to the next round. And if you do, then we'll help you refine your pitch before returning to the spot to pitch again for a chance to compete in our pitch-off at the end of the season, battling it out for an all-expense-paid trip to a nationally recognized entrepreneurship conference. Today, we have 2 contestants, and only one will move on to the next round. Now, let's meet our panel of judges. First is Daryl Singletary, former officer in the United States Coast Guard and director of the MBA program here at the University of New Haven. Welcome, Daryl. Our next judge is Ron Kunze. Ron is a professor of marketing and the director of the Nonprofit Institute here at the University of New Haven. And finally, we have Neelam Keshuk. Neelam is a second-year MBA student at UNH, and she's an engineer by training and a 2-time veteran of Charger Startup Weekend. Welcome, Neelam. Okay, our panel's in place. It's time to meet our first contestant.
The University of New Haven has partnered with iGrad to provide financial literacy services at no cost for students. There are articles, videos, infographics, games, and tools that can be used to learn more about a variety of topics. iGrad separates topics into 3 categories, including managing money, paying for school, and finding a career. The Financial Literacy Committee will be holding a workshop to help students learn how to use iGrad, and more information can be found on MyCharger and ChargerBulletin.com. And now with your Charger Sports Update, we go to Cameron Haley.
Thanks, Mitsuki. Men's basketball picked up an overtime win on Tuesday when they beat Bloomfield 85-80 at the Charger gym. 2 players for the Chargers scored upwards of 20 points on the day. Sophomore Derek Rowland had a career-high 26, and senior Danny Upchurch scored 22. The Chargers will return to the court on February 17th as they take on American International at 3:30 in their final home game of the season. Women's basketball collected their 2nd consecutive win on Monday as they beat Bloomfield on the road. The Chargers' defense was a turning point of the game as they held Bloomfield to only 41 points. Junior Alexander Kerr contributed with 18 points, putting her only 10 points away from a 1,000-point career. The Chargers will look to continue their hot streak on senior night as they take on American International on Saturday at 1:30 at the Charger gym. And before we go, we're going to take a look at the exclusive preview of the new sports panel show from the Charger Bulletin, The Charge Up.
Well, the men's basketball team has had us on a roller coaster ride this whole season. The offense has been up, the defense has been bad, the defense has been good, the offense has been bad, and we really can't get a consistent measure of this team going into the NE10 tournament.
Well, the good thing is they have Danny Upchurch,
Yep.
and he had a fantastic game against Pace. He had
Yeah.
26 points and was phenomenal passing the ball. even beat the press on the one game, which we haven't seen too
Oh,
much
yeah.
of teams trying to do that against the Chargers, but it was good that they can beat it, no problem. Saw Elijah Bailey have a
he
nice.
contributed with 22 points.
Yeah, he's picking up some slack on somebody else on the team, which is nice, other than Danny, because we're always a Danny show. Danny. I mean, rightfully so, because Danny's the man, but he needs some help.
Yeah.
And Bailey's being that guy now.
We've also seen a lineup change over the past 3 games. We've seen Bailey inserted into the lineup and Roy Kane Jr. also inserted
Yes.
in place for Larcher and Vasic. This sort of gives them, Vasic and Larcher are sort of back to the basket type of guys, and Kane and Bailey are sort of like jump shooter guys, so it gives them a better advantage against the other teams.
Yeah, it's on the good offensive game.
Yeah.
It helps ease up the defensive play.
Yeah.
Roy Kane's sort of like a 3. He sort of plays that more of that game,
Yeah.
but he could get rebounds like there's
Oh,
no
yeah, he's
tomorrow.
got that size. Yeah.
He's grabbed 15 in the game against Pace, so he could really do it. But the key for him is the mid-range jump shot, which has been pretty good so far.
Yeah.
And Danny Upchurch also against St. Rose at 16 points. So they didn't really fill in that gap, that 10-point gap that he had in previous games. So the other people have to step up, and they can't always rely on him.
Well, that's the problem with this team is that they're just so reliant on Danny.
Yeah, I mean,
to
they have a
do
few
pretty
games
much
here and there where the whole team, they have a complete game, and it's nice, but then next game, they do like what they did against St. Rose. They shoot well, but defensively, they're just flopping all over the place, and then they give up 84 points. So 68 points means nothing when the other team is 84.
Yeah, they start getting in the shootouts with teams,
Yeah.
then they can't stop them, and they can't keep up. So, and also Danny Upchurch is averaging 22 points in wins and 14 points in losses. So, yeah, he's obviously the biggest piece,
Yeah.
and
So feed him and
and,
spread it around a wee bit.
and good things
We'll
will
get-
come.
Yes.
Well, it sounds like the men's team's kind of getting into their groove, and hopefully we'll get on a long run in the NE10 tournament.
And back to you, Mitsuki.
Today we have special guest Christopher Nicola, the marketing manager of the Sports Industry Club, here with us. Chris, thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me.
So describe your organization. What's your goal on campus?
The Sport Industry Club tries to go out and create opportunities that students wouldn't normally find in the classroom for students who are interested in working in sports. We try to do luncheons, we try to do attend games and try and give facility tours and try to bring in people who will help benefit the students as a whole who are interested in working in sports.
Okay. And can anyone be involved, or is it just sports management majors?
It's not specifically for sport management majors, even though a majority of our club members are sport management majors. All members are welcome, which is awesome. I know we have a few non-sport management majors in there.
Okay, cool. How can someone benefit from joining the Sports Industry Club?
I feel that the opportunities and events that we have, you can't find in the classroom. So I know we, whenever we bring a guest speaker who is involved with the sports industry, normally we'll do a luncheon. I know this upcoming week we have a luncheon with the Chief Marketing Officer from Octagon, which is one of the leading marketing companies in the world, which is awesome. I'm very excited for that. So I feel like you can get opportunities that you would, good opportunities from outside of the classroom.
Cool. What are some things we can expect to see from the Sports Industry Club this semester as far as events and co-sponsorships go?
Well, as I just mentioned, we have the luncheon with the Chief Marketing Officer, Lisa Murray from Octagon. We have our upcoming sports trivia night. You guys can come out, and it's a sports trivia night. You can win a $20 Dunkin' gift card. And then I know upcoming in April, we are attending a Hartford Yard Goat game. And I believe we're getting a facility tour of that as well. And then we have one more event that we're trying to plan. I can't talk about it right now, but I'm kind of hoping that everything will get set in stone and whatnot. But I definitely think if we get this event planned, it will be the biggest event that the Sport Industry Club has put on, and it will definitely benefit the University of New Haven as well as the town of West Haven as a whole. So I'm very
Awesome.
excited for it.
Awesome. Thank you so much for joining us. It was nice meeting you.
Thank you for having me.
The treasurer and president candidates for USGA held their first debate on Tuesday, answering questions from USGA members and students. Kiana Quinones has more from the debate.
On Tuesday, February 13th, USGA hosted their first round of debates for the presidential and treasurer candidates running for the 2018-2019 school year. Students who attended were invited to participate in a raffle and offered refreshments midway through the debate. The event ran more as a Q&A because both candidates ran unopposed. Current USGA President Nicola Angeli took a more positive stance on the lack of opponents.
I think what it tells me is that we have strong candidates and that maybe people just saw it as they didn't want to run because they may want to take on a different position. So there's a strong candidate for president and treasurer, so maybe somebody's very focused on being sergeant at arms. They have a very interest in Robert's rules, they're very interested in the Constitution, they're holding out to maybe run for that position.
Angeli moderated the debate, asking questions and keeping candidates on a strict 90-second time limit. While the candidates spoke, students were offered a chance to submit questions written on white slips of paper. Diversity was a major topic of the debate, both candidates focusing on making sure students felt welcome in USGA and opening opportunities for their voices to be heard. Presidential candidate Parker Johnson spoke about opening communication and making sure all students know their concerns are being listened to and addressed.
But like I said tonight in the debate, there is no issue too small for USGA. We'll always be able to help you in some way, whether or not it's just me forwarding you somewhere else, or whether or not we have to do something actually in new business to kind of get a policy created.
Candidate for treasurer Ian Maloney focused heavily on changes to the budget committee and what plans he has for the future.
That we recognize students' concerns that they're not represented, and we need to make an adjustment, and that adjustment lies within our committees and within the structure of USGA.
Both candidates, although running unopposed, wanted to make sure students were aware of the importance of their vote.
Although she and I are both running unopposed, it's important that students still express their concerns with us. They still make sure that they see us as fit to perform the duties that we're trying to perform.
This has been Kiana Quinones reporting for the Charger Bulletin.
That's all we have for Charger Bulletin News. Tune in on February 19th for the debut of our new sports panel show, The Charge Up. And make sure to follow us on social media to stay up to date on all the news at the University of New Haven. For the Charger Bulletin, I'm Mitsuki Garvey Sanchez.